Good morning. Today we are taking up chapter 4 of Sons and Lovers, and the title is Paul Launches into Life. Now, here we find that Mr. Morrel gets injured. A piece of rock falls on the leg of Mr. Morrel and he is wounded. When this news reaches to Mrs. Morrel, she gets very upset and then she prepares to go to hospital. We also see that Paul is trying to soothe and calm Mrs. Morrel, his mother, by giving her tea. Then she goes to the hospital, and when she returns, she informs that Mr. Morrel is badly wounded. But everyone feels that everything will be all right, as their father is a strong person. Nevertheless, all of them are very upset as well as anxious. Mrs. Morrel is anxious and she's feeling quite guilty as she reflects and feels that she has no longer any love for him, so she is filled with guilt. She feels pain and feels a kind of emptiness within herself. Here, Paul is seen as a comfort provider, and Mrs. Morrel feels good after talking to Paul. As we have been told that Mr. Morrel is a strong man, he recovers faster and it is a relief for the family. But there appears to be a sense of regret that very soon he will be returning home. Now, Paul has turned 14 and now he needs to find a job. So he goes to the cooperative reading room to go through the job advertisements that appear in the paper, and he jots down a few offers and then he comes back to his house and he writes application. Then he is summoned by a manufacturer of surgical appliances. As expected, Mrs. Morrel is very happy and she accompanies Paul. They travel to Nottingham in response to an offer. Paul is very nervous and he's scared of the interview. He is also frightened of being scrutinized by total strangers. There he is made to read a letter in French, and he has difficulty in comprehending it, but still he is hired as a clerk. Paul and Mrs. Morel then have a dinner in an eating house, which is a very expensive kind of place, and they order the cheapest dish after discovering that this is quite expensive place. Later, they walk around the place and buy few things. Paul is excited and very happy to be with his mother. Then we find that Paul applies for a season ticket for the train the very next day, and then he informs his mother as the cost of the season ticket. And at that time, Mrs. Morrel feels that it would have been more convenient if William had helped them in situations like this. We come to know that in London, William is fast becoming a gentleman and is seeing a girl, Louisa Lily Dennis Weston is her name. He sends her photograph to his mother, who completely disapproves of the girl, as in the picture she is seen as bare shoulders. She's wearing a dress which does not, according to her, is appropriate. Then he sends her another photograph in which she is wearing a gown, but still she is not impressed. On the other hand, Paul goes to work and he arrives at the factory. Then he is introduced to Pappleworth, who is the boss. Then he is shown how to fetch in copy letters. Then how to write out orders and invoices. And besides this, how to prepare parcels for shipping. He is also introduced to the other workers, and we find that he gets along well with women workers like Polly, the overseer of the sewing crew, or Fanny, who is working in finishing off room. All in all, he starts to like his job. This is all for today. Thank you.